Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Freddy Vazquez with Basement Politics Unfiltered. Today is Friday, July 15th, 2022. And tonight, the affordable housing triangle. Join me. Good evening, folks. It's Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, we got an interesting one, folks. The affordable housing triangle. How is that connected to the Hudson Street development, the city council president's race, committee for a better Yonkers, and other things? Let me explain. Sorry, folks. I run a business, 24-hour service, so I'm on the phone with some people, but I'm on tonight. I want to talk about the affordable housing triangle. How is MHACY, the zoning board, and the Yonkers City Council connected? Well, let's explain. Well, I'll explain. I want to show you first what brought me to this episode today. I was actually on Facebook and I saw that MHACY is having a lottery. Yeah, they're having a lottery. That's right, folks. Having a lottery, and I want to show you about that. Take a look. Municipal Housing Authority of Yonkers, also known as MHACY, is having a lottery. Affordable housing waitlist application. So they're going to announce live online that, it's kind of like a lottery online and in person. Who are the winners of a voucher? There's only a certain amount that they're going to give out. So they're going to do a lottery, which is fine. But they're going to announce it online and do it live, have people there. And it seems like it's turned into a game show. Come on down, person who needs a voucher. You're the next contestant on affordable housing. I'm looking for the post. Did they take it down after I said something? I don't see it. Anyway, folks, I'll move on because I wanted to show you the post or the flyer that they would create it, but I can't see it. But I do want to talk about that and other things. So how are they connected? Let's talk about MHACY. First of all, what is MHACY? MHACY is the Municipal Housing Authority of the city of Yonkers, headed up by a woman named Wilson Kimball. And I've spoken about Wilson before. I have. She's married to James Kavanaugh, president of the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. And she is also a mayoral hopeful. Sources have told me that she was seen speaking with Yonkers Democratic Committee Chairman Tom Meyer and has also been shopping around for a campaign management company. Don't use Red Horse. They're no good from what I hear, what I heard. They may not have your back. But anyway, Wilson Kimball is very involved in what's going on in Yonkers. She's very involved. Wilson comes from the Battery Park Authority down in Manhattan, where she was investigated along with her husband, James Kavanaugh, into the misappropriation of funds. She was also in the New York Post because of the affair she was having with now husband, James Kavanaugh, who was married at the time, right? They used some of the money that the Battery Park Authority had received from various things that they do to get themselves an apartment downtown where they were rendezvousing. They called it a love's nest. Well, the duo made it over to Yonkers now, where James Kavanaugh, her husband, is the president of the Yonkers Industrial Agency. She heads MHACY's, the Municipal Housing Authority of Yonkers, and she's also the boss of the city council president, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy. Wilson, from what I hear, is very involved or was very involved in the approval of the project on Hudson Street, just behind the shop right there on Prospect in Riverdale. That had a lot of controversy because there were 3 zoning board members who were removed without notice. Without notice. The 3 senior most members, and they were replaced by other people. One of them, a young 20-something-year-old kid who is the son of a real estate investor, also the owner of 470 Nepperhan Avenue, a building once owned by the city of Yonkers. Now they rent it to do fire department training and graduations there. I wanted to connect the 3. What do they have? Why? What is MHACY? Wilson Kimball, the Yonkers, the Committee for a Better Yonkers, the Zoning Board, the City Council President's race last year, all have to do with each other? I'll explain. Wilson Kimball, from my sources, was very involved or is very involved in the zoning board. In fact, she is the reason why the members who were removed without notice were removed. She was putting a lot of pressure, from what I hear, to get the development on 25 Hudson Street done. However, the 3 members that were removed did not want to approve it for the right reasons. The development is a 25-story building that will be going up directly behind ShopRite. It's on the corner of Hudson Street and Hawthorne Avenue. It was once a daycare center, and they knocked it down. But many people wondered, why would they approve that? There's a ShopRite there. You have a loading dock for the ShopRite. There's about 3 to 4 tractor trailers at any given time coming in and out. You also have the YMCA on the corner of Hudson and Riverdale that has a lot of, activity, including a line that forms along Hudson Street as people go there for lunch and dinner. There's also the apartment across the street from it that's actually the back of 66 Main Street, where people who pay a lot of money to live in those apartments, pay a lot of rent, are no longer going to have the views that they had. It's going to be blocked by this tall building. And initially, the building called for 27 floors, but they approved it for 25. However, initially, that area was not zoned for a building of that size. But not only that, it was something that, if developed, the 3 members who were removed knew would cause problems for the people who lived in that area. The traffic. Where would they park? Where are you going to put a parking garage? Are they going to use up that parking garage right there on Buena Vista and Hudson Street? One that's already full all the time. And now recently, rumors are surfacing that the ShopRite may be bought by developers. It may be sold. And if that's true, that would be horrible to the people of that area, who a majority of them rely on that ShopRite because of the easy access, and it's the cheapest prices around, especially now as prices of food is going up. There's also a CVS there that many seniors and elderly members of our community who live in that area rely on for their medication. They can easily walk there. A lot of people in that area don't have a car for transportation, and the nearest ShopRite would be over on Tuckahoe Avenue, or Tuckahoe Road, I'm sorry. And many people just will not be able to get there. They're not going to pay for a cab. It's expensive. And then they would rely on smaller grocery stores like bodegas, which prices are a lot more expensive. And sometimes the quality is not as good. A lot of that stuff sits on the shelves for a while. So, people were wondering, if that were to happen, what about the people who utilize it and rely on it? And who is allowing this to happen? And then I started to think, does it have anything to do with the development going in Hudson Street? Is that just going to be another part of that development? How did the development in Hudson Street get approved to begin with? Well, from what I was told from sources, Wilson Kimball, head of MHACY, put a lot of pressure on the individuals and they would not budge. So I guess she just had them removed. She replaced them with other individuals, including this young man here. And I want to play that, the appointment meeting, a man with no experience. The individuals that were removed were engineers, architects, had decades of experience and had been volunteering for decades. And they knew, again, that that project was not good for the area. But what they didn't understand is that there's probably a lot more projects that are going to be going up in that area, and they need to get that one approved, like the potential selling of ShopRite, because not everyone's privy to all the information. That building on Hudson Street may just be the beginning, because that area is going to change. The people that move there are going to walk more, take public transportation more, have higher incomes. So they're going to be fine with paying higher cost of food for the local new stores that are going to be coming in, new grocery stores that are going to be coming in, right? And they know this because that's the future master plan eventually. So they don't care about the poor folks who don't have a car, who have to walk, who are relying on finding a place that has the cheapest prices. They don't care. And neither does a woman like Wilson Kimball, a rich white woman. She put a lot of pressure. They didn't budge. She removed them. How did they find out? When they started to see these meetings.
But committee members, we have a resolution from the mayor regarding a zoning board appointment. And we have Mr. Galaj. Am I saying your last name properly? July. Okay. Like the month.
Yep, exactly.
Got it. Okay. And so if we have any questions, I'll ask that Mr. Anthony July introduce himself, tell us a little about him. I believe his resume was circulated earlier this week. We can ask him questions at this time.
Let's hear the questions.
Mr. July, please give us a brief introduction of yourself.
Oh, apologies. My name is Anthony July. Born and raised in Yonkers for the last 24 years.
24 years old.
In America, third generation in Yonkers. I work in Yonkers, formerly worked for the mayor of Yonkers for 6 months, interned in the city of Yonkers when I was about 16 years old in constituent services under Gail Burns, a longtime resident of Yonkers, and look forward to serving the city.
Great. What else have you done?
Do any of the council members have any questions for Mr. Anthony Lewis July?
I'm sorry, I don't have a question for him directly. I just don't know what, for some reason, I don't have it on my agenda. I think I might have the old agenda, same as my brain.
This girl's not even focused.
What committee is he?
Wow.
Zoning.
Unbelievable.
Zoning, okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
How do you come to this meeting unprepared? How do you come to this meeting unprepared?
Holdover from the last rules.
All right. Now, one council member had a question. Shanae didn't even know what committee he was being appointed to. Folks, that's a problem. That's a serious problem. She's obviously not prepared. How do you come to a meeting unprepared? You don't even know who you're voting for. You don't know what committee he's being appointed to, but you're going to vote yeah. You're going to agree with it. No, one of them has a question. Now, one of them said, hey, why were those three individuals removed from the zoning board? Three senior members who had the most experience to be replaced with this guy and others. And right? Why? Not one of them had that question. I mean, are you guys looking out for the best interest of the city and the people of the city? And this is the problem with our city council. And this is why we have to vote them out eventually. The city council president there speaking. She doesn't have a question. They don't really care. She was put in there by Wilson Kimball. How do you think she became the city council president? No political experience. no political relationships, no funding, no relationships with donors. How do you think that happened? To beat Mike Cater, who beat Liam McLaughlin. Think about that. They needed someone to take out Cater. Why? Because they needed to do things like this. They needed to get zoning boards to approve projects that should not be approved. And the council, who is supposed to be the checks and balances, has failed us many, many, many times. And this is just another example of how they failed us. Big time. This affects everyone. But it especially affects blacks and Hispanics over on the Southwest side. They're giving away Trevor Park too. And JFK Marina. So they allow for this guy to be appointed. They have no questions. Why? Because he's going to approve things that need to get approved. His dad, who owns 470 Nepperhan, the building that the Yonkers Fire Department does their training and graduations at, was once owned by the city. Why did they sell it? Only to lease it. That's not smart. That's a waste of money. And his dad now owns it, and he got placed on the board over a guy like Jeffrey Landsman, who was on the board as well, the zoning board, guy with many years of experience. Why would they do that? Right? So this is why they needed to get someone in there to replace Mike Cater. Lakeisha Collins-Bellamy was perfect. She's a black woman in this environment. This is why they call Zahir a genius. I guess because he's all about identity politics. She won. But she won for a lot of reasons that I'm going to explain now. And they all had to do with Wilson Kimball and her developer friends and the Committee for a Better Yonkers. What is the Committee for a Better Yonkers? It's a PAC, a political action committee that raises money to support campaigns, candidates. The Committee for a Better Yonkers pretty much were the people responsible for the negative attacks on Mike Cater, the robocalls, the mailers, the website. The website had nothing but bash Cater. I mean, it's obvious. And Lakeisha Collins-Bellamy support campaign flyer. And everything else is bash Cater. Why? Because Cater was not playing the game the way they wanted him to play it. Right? He wasn't just moving forward. Just move forward. He's not the guy that's going to stay quiet. He's not going to say, "Oh, what committee should be appointed? What are we doing? Where we at? What time is it? What's my name?" This girl comes unprepared to a meeting, not ready to ask questions. This is important. She does that every single time. How can anyone have faith in her for any other position in office? She has to go and figure it out. The Committee for a Better Yonkers was funded by a lot of developers, lawyers, including Smith Bus Jacob, the law firm that was tied to Cater over the quid quo pro thing. And this is not a Cater, support Cater, forget Cater. This is about the fact that this is what's being done in our politics, and it's about a person who's doing this. Wilson Kimball has worked along with Zahir Jarris to get Lakeisha Collins-Bellamy in office. She thanked them both at the election night when she won. She did. She thanked Wilson Kimball. Said she's going to rely on her heavily. And it seems like Wilson Kimball is not just the head of MHACY. She's also running the zoning board. She's also running campaigns. She's also raising money through the Committee for a Better Yonkers. And in fact, the Committee for a Better Yonkers, and I just want to show you this actually real quick, is the address to that Committee for Better Yonkers is 37 there, Bronxville Glen in black. And this is an address that's listed for Wilson Kimball, as she has donated and contributed to the Committee for a Better Yonkers. And I'm going to show that in a little bit there. So what she did was she got Cater out. Mike Cater wanted to pump the brakes a little bit, especially when it came to that Ludlow project that they've been talking about recently. He also was the one that authored the affordable housing ordinance, the one that they ended up not passing, the 20%. Shanae Williams, who you see there, confused, jumped on it, made it her baby, even though it was not. Tasha Diaz jumped on it, supported it all the way until she didn't, until she failed the people, her constituents who rely on affordable housing, with a confusing, dramatic scene that night. But this was all part of the plan. Mike Cater was the only person that truly cared about the people. And again, this is not a Mike Cater support thing. I'm not speaking to the man. This is people need to wake up. You voted for the wrong person. And a lot of you know that. A lot of you that turned your backs on Cater, yeah, you know who you are. Didn't get what you were promised, right? Now you're mad. Now you hate the person, and now you want to vote him out, right? It's a lot of people that turned their backs. I happen to know that people in DPW were gathered up by Mr. Tom Meyer, the head of the Democratic committee here in Yonkers, and told everyone who they needed to vote for. Lakeisha Collins Bellamy. That was after they revoked their endorsement of Mike Cater. Wilson Kimball was all the way behind Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, and now she's been seen with Tom Meyer talking with him and possibly in regards to running for mayor. So Wilson Kimball, Zahi Jerris, Tasha Diaz, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, James Kavanaugh, the White Idea, they're all involved here, along with developers. To take over Yonkers pretty much and push people out. They just go ahead and remove people from the zoning board. They don't let them know until they receive a letter in the mail 3 months later to be officially notified of their removal. They have to find out when they see a meeting like that going on where they're appointing new people, even though there's no more room, or at least that's what they thought. They didn't realize they were the ones being removed and there was now going to be room. And Wilson Kimball pushed for this. Why is she involved in the zoning board? So she gets Lakeisha Collins Bellamy in there, the city council president. They make Tasha Diaz majority leader for killing the housing ordinance. And divide the black women in the council because they're divided. Tasha Diaz, Lakeisha versus Shanae and Corazon. And a lot of it's just ego. Who wants to be the token black person to sit right next to the man on top, right? And do all their bidding. Approve everything that they want you to approve. You don't even ask questions. You don't even ask why did they remove these gentlemen from the zoning board? Why? No questions asked. How did she beat Cater? How did she beat Ron Matton even in the general election? That was close. Did it have anything to do with absentee ballots? People going up to the Board of Election and grabbing 5 ballots apiece? Is that what the majority leader will do when she goes up for re-election in order to have people sign her ballots, as long as she brings them a bag of food? I brought you food in your ballot. Did they teach you how to write in cursive so you can sign here? You have to sign for the bag. You know, they wanted people in there like Tasha Diaz, like Shanae, Lakeisha, so they can also get these appointments approved easily, because they knew, again, a person like Mike Cater was a bit rogue. He would ask questions. And they didn't want that. I mean, again, Shanae Williams didn't even know where he was being appointed to. That's a serious problem to me. That's a joke. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be embarrassed. Our political system is a joke. So now they're going to take over the ShopRite with Wilson's Kimball's help. That's probably what's going to happen. She got them to approve that 25-story building that shouldn't be there. She got Lakeisha Collins Bellamy in as city council president. She runs all of MHACY. Now she's doing a lottery for the poor people, dangling vouchers. Here you go, and you get a voucher, and you get a voucher, and you get a voucher live on Facebook. Is that okay, Lakeisha? Is that how we do, people? You embarrass them? Where's the help so they one day don't need a voucher? Where's that at? How much money is MHACY getting? And whatever happened to Ron Mattin's FOIA request? Why was that not answered? And that's why I don't FOIL stuff, because they're not going to get answered. If it's something that, could really shed some light on some things, they're not going to answer it. They're not going to answer it. They're not going to answer it. So that's what's going on. That's what they have connected. The zoning board, Wilson Kimball. MHACY, Wilson Kimball. City Council, Wilson Kimball. And Zahi Jerris. The people that bring in the money men. And I want to show the contributions here. Every time the pages always, what is it called? It goes out of, expires. I got to reload it up. Never mind. I want to show campaign contributions here of the Committee for a Better Yonkers, Wilson Kavanaugh. Right? Who are they contributing to? This is important to look at. Again, Committee for a Better Yonkers, Bronxville Glen. You saw the address there. Latimer gave him a lot of money. Shanae Williams got $2,000 in 2019. Let's see who is Wilson Kavanaugh giving money to. $1,000. Mike Spano, 500 of Mike Spano, Mike Spano, Mike Spano. Committee for Better Yonkers, $250. So she's one of the donors to this committee that bashed Mike Cater all 2021. Obviously, she supported Lakeisha, donating to her as well, and the Westchester County Democratic Committee. That's the big one. Committee for Better Yonkers. Now let's look at who the Committee for Better Yonkers is receiving money from. You can always go online and look this up yourself, folks. It's getting frozen there. You can go on and look this up. You can type in any name if you're whoever you may be interested in. Just go on there. It says the Westchester County government page. You just go on. You can just type in a search engine if you don't, if you're not able to find it, just type in campaign contributions in Westchester County. Then you go here, you go to campaign disclosure, you go to contribution or recipient. Hopefully it'll let me type in. Better is. Freezes up. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's probably because I'm online. Hopefully it'll not unfreeze soon here. Anyway, that's what happens when you're doing stuff live. Here we go. Committee for a Better Yonkers. Thank you. 10 grand. Wow. Committee for a Better Yonkers from Louis Capelli. Developer. April of this year. I just mentioned his name on the podcast when I spoke to City Council President of White Plains. Alfred Weisman, real estate. Ginsburg, $5,000. We've been hearing their name a lot here in the city of Yonkers. So they're funding the Committee for Better Yonkers. Harry Bajarak. Is this guy, Harry, are you a part of the Rotary Club and Yonkers Rotary Club? Is that the Harry? Hughes and Hughes, Marathon Development, Traction, and here we go. Jalaj and Sons, Inc., the guy that was appointed to the board. There you go. That's the young man that was appointed there where none of the council people had questions. Why? Because look how much they donate. $4,958. Of course, they're not going to have any objections to it, right? Of course, they're not going to have any objections to Ginsburg. They're donating a political action committee that will fund them, that will attack candidates who oppose them. Look at all these guys. See who else. Let's go by contribution date. 2022. The last contribution they've received was in June 27, 2022. Traction Power Corporation, 969 Millen Avenue, Yonkers, New York. They donated. And the Yonkers CLSA, that's the Captains, Lieutenants, Sergeants Association, they donated $2,500. Local firefighter, the firefighters donated $2,500. Partners of Harris Beach, $2,500. Harris Beach, as you know, has is a law firm that I've spoken about a lot. They had contracts or have contracts with the city. They represented the individual, the mysterious individual that challenged Carlos Burgos' signature in last year's District 4 race. Again, Harry Bajar. I wanted to say something about the Yonkers Rotary Club and Harry, and I forgot exactly what I said. When it comes back, Harry, I'll bring it back up. But these are developers. These are business people. Where does that money go to? General fund, Yonkers. Where does this money go to? So if you want to do business, you donate to that fund if you want to do business here in the city of Yonkers. Developers got together and said, we got to get Mike Cater out. We got to get someone in there that's going to make it easy for us to move forward, to give us the green light on everything. And that's what they did. They got rid of Mike Cater through the negative attacks using some of this money that you see raised here by these individuals. And they created a website. They created campaign mailers. Then they took some of that money. They put it towards the city council president's race to assure the win. How much money did Lakeisha Collins Bellamy raise and from who? Well, let's find out. Let's find out. And it's important to know why or who's contributing, because it tells you why our elected officials do what they do a lot of times, why they vote the way they vote, why they don't ask any questions on the people being appointed to various boards here in the city of Yonkers, why they stay hush hush on certain things, why they give away Trevor Park and the JFK Marina, why they approved that 25 stories and soon probably going to sell that shop right. I'm sure that's probably true, those rumors. So she received from 1199 2000 back in that was in November of 2021. Anthony Margie. Hmm. 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 You know, out of respect for certain people, I won't mention anything on that right there. I'll keep it schmoving. United, 32 BJ United, you know, really out of health stuff out here. You know, really, I don't, you know, health stuff. Transport Workers Union, 2,500. Anthony Margie again. Okay, you know, it's all good, baby. 5,300. The firemen donated to Amir Rabadi, who donates a lot of money to a lot of candidates. Well, not a lot of specific candidates, right? He's a big contributor. He's donated over $100,000. Some say even $200,000. You know, and that's, say, some people say how he managed to get his gig. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I'm told, right? Again, 1199. Yeah, I already said that. Martin Ginsburg, right? Richard Haddad, and I can go on. I mean, you can find out who's all on here, right? You can do it yourself. Wilson Kimball was on here, of course. She's going to, but she didn't donate big. She doesn't want to make it obvious, right? But she gave her little contribution. Construction company, Ginsburg again. And look, my company, I even donated. I contributed. You know, I thought we were friends. I guess not. You know, I just keep it real. You know, I'm not going to, you know, be like a sellout, you know, and, you know, I contributed after the fact, you know, after the primaries, and because I'm a Democrat, and, you know, I want to support, but, you know, I see that things are not going the way I was hoping. You know, I'm not, you know, you're MIA a lot. I was hoping we could do some stuff together for the community. I talked to you about my Breaking the Cycle, you know, program that I really wanted to do. Seeing that you were from Cottage Garden. I'm from Southwest Yonkers. I grew up there. I'm Buena Vista and Riverdale. We from the hood, Southwest side, or you're a little maybe north a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Right? And we both managed to rise above that. And I wanted us to do something together and go out and show these kids that it's possible. Doesn't matter where you start, right? So they're not, you know, in hopes of winning a voucher at some lottery being held live on social media and in person. That way they can pay for their own way. They can afford these luxury apartments that are going up, that are you know, allowed to just go right on, go right up, right? But many people are getting kicked out. Some saying that they, at first, because, you know, they weren't really ready yet, they were still doing developments. So some of those apartments, like the Apex, were taking certain people that they don't want really now. And is that why I hear rumors from people who are living down there that they were looking for people who had Section 8, but from the Bronx? And now they're kicking them out. That's probably why they wanted them from the Bronx. So they can kick them out eventually, right? Once things really start to fully develop, now you got Lionsgate there, and you don't need those people anymore. Raise the rent. Get them out of there. Time to go, folks. And no one speaks up for them. You know, it's 4 Black women on the city council, and no one speaks up for the Black and Latinos. And, you know, you do certain things, you know, to appease, but it's really, you know, you and I had a talk. You know, I went in depth into actually the idea, what's the goal, right? And I get it. We could do little events here and there and give out some food and stuff like that. But you know, we talked about some serious stuff, like to really get kids out of the hood. Okay, really do something. Okay, really talk about real things. And and I get it. I get it. I get it. You're caught up in this, in a thing, and you have, no real control, and you're just rolling with it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But I want to show people what's the deal. Wilson Kimball, the boss of Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, found someone that can beat Cater. They needed to get him out. The guy was putting too many road speed bumps in the road, right, and slowing things down for them. So anyone that gets in the way is removed. They removed him with the Committee for a Better Yonkers, which, interestingly enough and oddly enough, was created by a woman named Roseanne Gallego or something like that. I don't know if I was pronouncing it correctly, whose husband happened to be on the Yonkers Board of Ethics. He was the secretary. His name was Dennis. The same board that was okay with John Rubel sitting on the chair of the real estate committee just before they, I guess, disbanded because it's now defunct. Why did his wife create this Committee for a Better Yonkers? And it doesn't seem like she has much of a role in it. The only thing I could find on Roseanne was that she was once a receptionist up at New York State Senate in Albany. Is she managing all that money that's coming in as a person who created it? Roseanne, I'd like to know. It says it right here. Roseanne Gallego, Gallego, is that, am I saying that? Somebody maybe could tell me if I'm saying it wrong. 37 Bronxville Glen Drive, apartment 2. What are you doing with all that money, Roseanne? You're spending it on websites to attack Cater? Is that all? Get them out of there? Where else is that money going? I just thought that was interesting that the wife of the secretary of the Board of Ethics, the Yonkers Board of Ethics Board, would create this organization and doesn't seem to have any other involvement with it. They're raising a lot of money. $198,183. It's a lot of money. Where's that money going? Well, I can tell you for a fact, because it is a fact, whether I have proof or not, that it went to attacking Mike Cater, creating those mailers, the robocalls. It went into the campaign for the current city council president and others. And it goes into certain individuals' pockets, individuals who have $100,000, $200,000 pools in their backyards that live in Scarsdale. Can I be invited to that pool? Did you go swimming, Rubo, the other day when you were there? John, it's a nice pool, John. I hear it cost them $200,000. I mean, geez, I get you a nice one for like 30, 40. So I would imagine what that $200,000 pool, does it have a grotto? Is that where you guys go to meet? Yeah, I hear the guy's got a $200,000 pool, How many people can do that? Come home from prison after 4 years and purchase a home in Scarsdale and put a $200,000 pool in it. That's incredible. I got a lot of guys that would love to know that over in Riverdale. How do you do that? How do you come home and do that? Right? John, did you go swimming? I want to know. See, when I see around, I ask you about the pool. Well, maybe some of that money from the Committee for Better Yonkers pay for that pool. Maybe the fact that he may not be paying taxes at his car wash, cash businesses. Why people like cash businesses, right? Are the employees being paid accurately? Because here, a lot of your guys as employees don't get paid correctly. And some of you get sued for it. But that's what the Committee for a Better Yonkers is. It's basically a vehicle that's used to raise money. It was used to fund the campaign. Let's just be honest. Just be real. Of the current city council presidents used to bash Mike Cater. It's went into the pockets of certain individuals. It's going to be used. It's like a war chest for other campaigns, for individuals that they want to win, which is what makes it hard for just anyone who truly wants to come in to make a change, to run and win an election. You have this whole machine, this whole system that was set up by, I just imagine Roseanne as being this little old lady that doesn't know what the hell's going on, but she's got this committee in her name and it's raised almost $200,000, right? Maybe Dennis knows what's up. Dennis, you love your wife? That's crazy. You know, so that's what this is all about. This is what it's about. And I'm sure a lot of that money is going to be used in the coming elections. So again, folks, look, you have a woman like Wilson Kimball who's had a history over at Battery Park. She was investigated by the New York State Inspector General back in 2010, I believe, along with her husband, James Kavanaugh, who was head of the Battery Park Authority down in Manhattan. They were misappropriating funds. They had an apartment where they were rendezvousing. They spent lavishly on dinners and lunches, which I hear they do here before meetings, the city council. They then make their way here, the Bonnie and Clyde duo, managed to get themselves in the Municipal Housing Authority, which receives a lot of funding, a lot of money. And he manages to get himself in at the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency as the president, which gives away money, tax breaks, and properties of the city. Right? How did they do that? They then aligned themselves with Zahi Jerris to run candidates, funding them with the creation of the Committee for a Better Yonkers. And they tell all the developers, lawyers, and anyone that wants to do business here in Yonkers, that wants to get permits, that wants to get, zoning laws changed, that wants to get appointed on whatever board, to donate to this committee and to certain candidates. And that's how you tie them together. You see who's donating to who. It's almost the same people. And it's the people that are all developing or somehow wanting to do business in the city of Yonkers. But it's not fair to the people who are not able to contribute big money or at the mercy of whatever the city council and the rest of the elected officials decide, along with their developer buddies, on what they're going to do to the city, and they just have to deal with it. And that's not okay. That's not okay. And then they got all these, Freddy talks about certain organizations and certain community leaders because I call them out. I'm not just going to stay quiet. I call them out because they receive money, right? And what do they do with it? Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed for Black people here in the city of Yonkers. Nothing. Nothing. I don't care if you have 4 Black women on the council. They're still impoverished for the most part. What about the Latinos? That's 43%. Still impoverished for the most part. Our schools are still in bad shape. And I don't see it changing, but if it does, I'm afraid that it's going to change for a new set of people. And the only reason that they will improve anything is to bring in a new set of people. And it's not for those who've been here forever. That's just my big issue, right? There's a lot of Black and Hispanic kids People just of all colors impoverished. Look at Getty Square. Nothing's changed. Why are you just allowing that to just sit like that every day? I don't understand that. Are they not supposed to do anything about it? No, because they were just put there to say yes to whatever, collect their money that they get their free car, free gas, while everybody else is paying all this money on gas, free insurance, get the hookup here, get the hookup there, and that's it. That's all they're there for. See how far they can take it. They're going to ride it till the wheels fall off. And we have to change that, Yonkers, because they're going to continue to approve these projects with no one, really, truly assessing them, reviewing them, assuring that this is okay, this is right for the city of Yonkers, that, 10 years down the line, we aren't going to regret it. Because they're not. They're the checks and balances. They're not checking anything. And they're all off balance. You see Shanae, she doesn't even know what's going on. None of them have a question. They all stood quiet because they already know what the deal is with that guy. We all know the deal. It's like a mafia thing, right? We know what's going to happen. There's no need for questions. There's no need to come prepared. So it's time to stand up and say something about it. Otherwise, it's just going to... Folks, I'm Freddy Vazquez. That's my podcast for the night. It's 52 minutes. I went on longer than I wanted. Poor working people need a fucking lottery to get a decent apartment. You're absolutely right. Because they didn't want to make enough affordable housing available, right? Because Tasha Diaz killed it, and they all were involved. So now they have to do a lottery because there's not enough. And so they want to show people that they're doing something. So their bright idea is to do this lottery on live, online internet live and in person, so everyone can see how they dangle these vouchers. I mean, what about the people? Are the people that are not going to get one going to be there also? Are we going to see their disappointed faces live? I hope they don't bring their kids who were hoping to get a new apartment or get an apartment with them, only to be rejected live on Facebook and Instagram, courtesy of Municipal Housing Authority and the Yonkers City Council. I mean, that's to me, that's stupid. Just send the people who get the voucher a letter. That's horrible, yeah. You need to get those seniors on your show. Yeah, I'm trying to get some of the seniors. They have a lot of information. I hear. So I'm trying to get to some of the seniors on, and maybe we'll do that. But they definitely are very resourceful, very informative. But yeah, I mean, that's why I decided to do this podcast. I thought that was just disgusting. I thought that was horrible. Bad taste. Poor taste. Poor taste. You guys are just allowing all of downtown Southwest Yonkers to be developed, mostly market rate apartments. And I wonder if those, what would be funny? Well, not funny, but funny. Because I people have probably said that if those, affordable housing that they have now there, those new apartments that they're building with all these amenities, eventually go market rate one day down the line. And that's why they have a lot of those amenities in them to begin with, right? So ultimately, because it seems like that's what happens here in Yonkers, you're sold something one way and then it's something completely different when it's done. And by that time, it's too late for anyone to say anything, right? So that's what it is, folks. You have Wilson Kimball. She's her hands in everything. She is top dog, the one overseeing a lot of these developments, making sure that projects are approved. Along with Zahi Jarris, who's getting permits for these investor guys that are running all around the city buying up properties on Yonkers Avenue and Walnut Street, and somehow they're getting their permits quickly. Right? And they're appointing people on this zoning board and other committees, like Jean Tickle. Someone said, oh, you know, she's that's volunteer. You know, they're giving up their time to do that. Why? Why would they give up their time to do that? Just because they'd say, why? This woman got a lot of money. I don't even think she lives in Yonkers. Does she? Maybe, but she's got a lot of money. Why? Why do you care? Really? Especially when the development is going on in an area you don't live. She's the granddaughter of a real estate investor. And, you know, the family that owns the Grayston, 1080 Warburton Avenue. And, you know, some people are buying apartments in them, like Mike Sabatino bought an apartment there not too long ago. Interesting. Some weird, interesting stuff going on there. I have a bunch of documents I have to sort out about that place. But there's some interesting stuff there. Michael Sabatino. And what about King's Capital? Michael, are you a part of that? You and the steakhouse owner, the dude, the steakhouse no longer there though. Steakhouse guy, I guess it didn't work out, the restaurant. You and him have something to do with King's Capital right there on Buena Vista and Prospect, right by the ShopRite that's going to be sold because Wilson Kimball's probably going to get that approved with the people that they got appointed through the city council's lack of responsibility and lack of questioning and lack of effort and lack of knowledge and lack of anything. Huh, Michael? Is the lottery for Yonkers residents only? I don't know. I don't know where that. I tried to look up the ad. I don't know where it went. Did they take it down? Maybe somebody can show me where it might have gone. I don't know. Affordable housing wait list open now. Restoration conference, Deputy Farmers Market. I don't know what these people be putting up here. Look. Oh, here we go. Look at Wilson. 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 Wilson, how's the house over there in Rhode Island? I mean, these people got so much money. How the hell you guys got all this money from just doing this stuff? Huh? How you make all this money doing public service, right? I love public service. Like what's his face? Nader. I like public service. I've been educated my whole life. Have you really? Have you really? What was the last time you've been educating anyone? Huh? I mean, when? When was the last time? Because all your life would be all your life, right? Because I see the lawyer thing. I see the assemblyman thing. I know you want to get back into education. You want to get that superintendent seat, and that's what you're hoping for. I know you're working that in the background somehow. You're trying to anyway, because you know you're not going to get the mayor. So you're going to work out the Jordanian community because that is your leverage, right? You use your people as leverage for yourself, right? Jordanian community, do the right thing, people. You're good people. Do the right thing, right? Do the right thing. Do the right thing. That guy uses you for leverage, right? So people promise him things because he can get a certain amount of people to vote from the Jordanian community. All right, cool. If you can get the whole Jordanian community to vote for me, then I'll make you superintendent. Is that what you're working out, Wilson? Huh? That's how they do it. That's how they do it. That's with Miss Wilson Kimball right there. Is she from Yonkers? I think she's from Connecticut. Right? Look at all these rich people. I don't care about people down here in the Southwest side. They're trying to get rid of you. Que Paso Latinx. I just want to shout you out. Que Paso moves for mental health. You know, I guess people don't like me. You know, some people are staying, you know, people stay away from me, not because they don't like me, right? But because they're told to. And that's why, and that's what I don't like, right? And that's my thing. Because not even, I'm not talking about whatever, but people like, you know, certain people that know me for a long time now can't even call me back. You told me, yeah, we're going to do something. Yeah, we're going to do this. I spent some money thinking we're going to do something, and now can't even call me back. You were calling me back before. I was such a great this, that, and the third. I inspired people, right? And now no kind words. Can't even get a call back. Why? Because now people they're doing something with the city, getting little city gigs and things, and you don't want to screw that up. I get it. But keep it real. Just say that. I respect that. Just say it. Anyway, shout out to Que Paso Latinx, Moves for Mental Health. They're having an event tomorrow. 988 about their mental health hotline. Open mic. I don't know. I guess resources, music, arts, food. Let's see what else is going on here. I don't know. I don't see that lottery thing that I saw earlier. I don't see it. I don't know, folks. Maybe somebody said, but there's going to be a lottery. But anyway, that's my show for the night, folks. I appreciate you joining me. I see a lot of people are trying to come up to Yonkers from Manhattan, Bronx, and so forth. I hope it's for the Yonkers residents. Well, look, I mean, you see, the stabbing of the young kid. I mean, that family moved up from Manhattan, right? And there's a lot of other families moving in from Manhattan. Yeah, I mean, I put a post about the rents in Manhattan going to 5,000. So I said they're definitely, people from Manhattan definitely going to come to Yonkers. So you're going to get all kinds of people. You got a lot of people coming from Brooklyn, right? You got a lot of people coming from that area. I've seen people. So yeah, people from the city are coming from the boroughs, and and it's going to impact Yonkers, and they're taking advantage of that. These people are taking advantage. They know about that, so they're setting up these developments. They don't care. They don't care about the people of Yonkers. They only care about making the money. That's it. That's what it's all about, making the money, because they don't care about people from Yonkers, because really, they're not friends with your people. Most people here, they're not, right? How many of you guys hanging out with Wilson Kimball? How many of you guys hanging out with James Kavanaugh or Lakeisha Collins, Bellamy, or Tasha Diaz? Well, Tasha Diaz does live here, though. And she always gonna live here because she don't change. The woman don't change. You got to change. Where's your Navy at? They ain't gonna be around, right? Look what I saw him be at. You got to check the easy pass I hear on that car she be driving. How many miles does it have? Corazon, I hear Corazon. Somebody told me Corazon, Pineda Isaac's car has a lot of mileage. All her cars always have high mileage. And something about the plate, always reading through toes. How many toes? I don't know. Right? So, folks, they're not doing their job. They're doing us a disservice. Yeah, they get cars, they get free gas, they get free insurance, they get the works, right? Anyway, why would you want to quit that job? Of course you would want to give that up. And you get your side gig too. I don't see it here, folks. Anyway, that's my episode for tonight. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be on probably Sunday, and we'll talk some more then about what's going on here in the city of Yonkers. So I broke it down. You see, Wilson Kimball got those 3 guys removed from the zoning board so they can approve that Hudson Street, that 25-story building that's going to go up behind ShopRite. They're going to remove that ShopRite, so it probably is going to be sold to developers, like rumors are swirling or saying, right? That's what they want, Wilson Kimball. Once they got that approval on Hudson Street, it's all downhill from there, and they had to remove those 3 guys. Had to remove you guys. And it's messed up that they couldn't even let them know. They didn't even tell them. They just started appointing people. The city council, you guys, city council, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, the president, John Rubo, Tasha Diaz, Shanae Williams, Pineda Isaac. You guys know that you just appointed somebody. You appointed people to a committee that they really didn't even have room for. Like, you just basically, hey, we're going to appoint these people. You didn't even know that they were removing people without notifying them. Did you guys know? They didn't care, right? You don't care. I know. You don't care. They don't care, folks. Anyway, I'm out of here. Freddy Vazquez. Have a great night. It's been an hour. Wow. I'm out of here. Let me go. Enjoy your weekend, folks. And remember, don't vote for Wilson Kimball. Don't vote for mayor. Who else? Just don't vote for any name you've heard before that's been in politics or in the city. That's it. Bottom line, if you do that, we'll be safe. I'm Freddy Vazquez. Have a great night. Peace out. Thank you, folks. That's my show for tonight. Basement Politics Unfiltered. Wilson Kimball runs Yonkers. Or does Zahi Jerris run Yonkers? You know, my theory is that Zahi has stuff on certain individuals and he's using that as leverage to gain master control. That's my theory. And he is really top dog. I could be wrong. But that's kind of my theory. But anyway, he's working along with Wilson Kimball. Anyway, that's my show, folks.
Letting Helen off easy.
Look.
Are we doing interviews right now?
Yes, I sent that text message yesterday.
Look,
if you had any questions
another
for
meeting.
the candidates.
Yes, but I thought it was going to be like after we went through the agenda, we would then do interviews. But
Shanae.
I'm okay. I don't have any questions. I know
Okay.
You see?
she's great. I think she'll be a great first deputy counsel.
No questions. I think she'll be
Okay.
great. I didn't even know. Bye.
Item number 2.
Yeah, she's off the hot seat. We're going to put this item onto the agenda.
All right.
In another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me, and I don't vote for a person that lied to me.
Que hablan español, mande unas estrellitas para nosotros. Trabajamos muy duro para mantener la comunidad informada.
Shout out to my
Trabajamos muy duro
man.
para ayudar
I'm out of here.
a nuestra
Wanna mess with me?
comunidad,
Mess
más
with you
a
right
la
back.
gente que tiene negocios pequeñitos.
Come on, give it to us straight.
Not long ago, he admitted himself on a live that child pornography was sent to him, and he watched the damn whole thing.
Come on, give it to us straight.
But I am the bad guy. But I am the bad guy. But I am the bad guy. But I am the bad guy.
Let's get it popping.
I am the bad guy.
Let's
But I am the bad guy. I am the bad guy. That's a lot of stars. That's a lot of stars. So that my competition, the guy who always talks about me, because que hablan español, are we? Let's make it happen, guys. Make me happy today. Que hablan español, mande unas estrellitas. That's a lot of stars.
I'm hoping that this is not true, Sammy. I'm hoping that this is not true, Sammy.
That's a lot of stars. Not long ago, he admitted himself on a live that
Freddy wins. Fatality.
No!
I'm hoping that this is not true, Sammy.
but I am the bad guy.
I know you have a lot of women.
But I am the bad guy.
I know you have a lot of women.
But I am the bad guy.
I'm hoping that this is not true, Sammy.
Not long ago,
I know you have a lot of women.
not long ago, but I am the bad guy. I am the bad guy.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
No!